megastars, the millionaires, the masterminds. Seriously wealthy, glamorous and influential. They are the rich and famous. Action, science fiction and drama. Car chases and explosions. They call the shots and know what we like. They are the hotshots of Hollywood. Jerry Bruckheimer. His name is everywhere. Whether watching a TV show or movie, you're bound to see it almost every time. He is one of Hollywood's biggest and most powerful producers. He is now worth a massive $120 million. He loves to get involved in all the big-budget action movies with the high-profile A-list celebrities, as well as producing the just as popular TV dramas. His biggest claim to fame so far would have to be the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. Captain Jack Sparrow, the mischievous pirate played by the adorable Johnny Depp, and his pirate friends, or in some cases enemies, give fans an adventure thrill ride they'll never forget. The pirate sequel, Dead Man's Chest, banked $1.1 billion worldwide to become the third highest grossing movie of all time.
It feels fantastic. We even broke another record. We had the biggest European opening in 7 markets, beat Harry Potter, so that's really exciting.
The third instalment, At World's End, grossed approximately $960 million worldwide, making it the most successful film of 2007. The Pirates trilogy all up has grossed over $2.79 billion worldwide. Jerry will never have to look for buried treasure with that kind of dough. Before Pirates came along, Jerry was already set for life from making big action blockbuster movies such as The Rock, which grossed over $350 million, and Armageddon with $560 million worldwide. And who can forget the tear-jerking scene where Bruce Willis saved the world in Armageddon? There wasn't a dry eye in the house. Wanting his cake and eating it too, Jerry is also producing a number of television series. For the 2005-2006 season, Jerry had 9 shows on the go at once, 5 of them rated in the top 20. The popular investigation dramas CSI, CSI Miami and Without a Trace are just some of the shows keeping Jerry busy and wealthy. As well as the reality show The Amazing Race, a show where 11 couples, usually consisting of a team of hillbillies, bimbos and himbos, race around the world for the chance of taking home $1 million in prize money. Jerry is all about loud bangs and big explosions in his movies. It has been said that all of his movies feature a car being flipped. Come to think of it, he did also manage to flip a ship in Pirates. Jerry originally got his big start when he teamed up with Don Simpson, and they formed Don Simpson Jerry Bruckheimer Productions. They produced such films as Flashdance, which made $90 million at the box office, the Beverly Hills Cop success, and Top Gun, starring a young Tom Cruise, now one of Hollywood's most powerful actors. In Jerry's downtime, he spends it at his 400-acre ranch in Ventura Country. He and his wife Linda purchased the property and paid almost $20 million. The 6,500 square foot home comprises of 8 bedrooms, 6.5 bathrooms, a room with a built-in indoor barbecue, and a 40-foot-long veranda. There are views of the ranch lands, an alfresco dining area, swimming pool, and tennis court. He also has a home in Bardstown, Kentucky, a 1,500-acre farm, and a property in Ojai, south of Santa Barbara. How does he find time to stay in them? Who cares though? Being that rich and successful, you can do anything you want. George Lucas, creator of Star Wars, net worth $3.6 billion. Need I say more? He is one of the most powerful people in the film industry, if not the world. He is the god of science fiction. The Star Wars franchise began way back in the 70s with Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, originally just Star Wars, first gracing our screens back in 1977. Star Wars grossed $1.17 billion at the box office, making it the second highest grossing film of all time, behind 1939's Gone with the Wind. The Star Wars double trilogy was completed in 2005, with the final instalment grossing $850 million worldwide. George Lucas also produced the action-adventure films Indiana Jones, teaming up again with Harrison Ford, who played Han Solo in the earlier trilogy of Star Wars. The Star Wars franchise consists of not only the 6 blockbuster flicks, but toys, video games, books, and the list goes on. Star Wars has dominated it all, earning more than $22 billion over the 30-year period. And with all the Star Wars-obsessed followers, I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
The best part of the movies, Star Wars and Indiana Jones too, some of my other movies, is I still love to watch it, just like anybody else does. If they're on TV and I'm halfway, I turn it on halfway through, I can't turn it off, even though I've seen it a million times.
Star Wars merchandise is just as famous today as it was 30 years ago. Kids and adults all over the world are rushing out and queuing up to buy plastic lightsabers and Anakin Skywalker costumes, all trying to be like their idols. And we all make the sound effects when using a lightsaber. The Star Wars merchandise brought in over $1.5 billion in revenue in 1 year. Before the overwhelming success of Star Wars, George Lucas triumphed with his Oscar-nominated phenomenon, American Graffiti. With this, he then set up his own studio, Lucasfilm. Not everything is about business and earning money with George Lucas. He donated $125 million to the University of Southern California to expand their film school, and $1 million to help build the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. Needing somewhere to let his creative juices flow, he built Skywalker Ranch in Marin County, California. Skywalker Ranch is situated on 4,700 acres. Only 15 acres have been developed. Skywalker Ranch reportedly cost George $100 million, although he said it was closer to $50 million. With all that land, what should he do with it? How about having some barnyard animals, a vineyard, a fruit and vegetable garden, which is to be used for the on-site restaurant, an outdoor swimming pool and fitness centre with racquetball courts, the man-made Lake Ewok, a 300-seat theatre called The Stag, multiple theatre screening rooms and underground parking. But that's not all. The main house has a library with a stained glass dome as the rooftop, and the ranch has its own fire station. Just what everybody needs. To George's defence, the Skywalker Ranch is used for work purposes. As the D+ student at school, George has said, learning to make films is very easy. Learning what to make films about is very hard. I think you've done okay, George. Oh, and may the Force be with you. Quentin Tarantino, the self-acclaimed movie geek, whose film school was working at a video store. He is an all-rounder in the film industry, a writer, director, producer and actor. His knowledge of the film industry is outstanding. His first script, True Romance, was sold for $30,000. With that money, he was well on the way to financing his directorial debut, Reservoir Dogs, which he wrote in 3 weeks and gave himself a small role in. After meeting producer Lawrence Bender, soon to be co-creator of A Band Apart Productions, they were able to raise more money with the help of actor and friend Harvey Keitel, who would also have a starring role. Reservoir Dogs now had a budget of $1.5 million. The film was shown at Sundance and received overall promising reviews. It opened in 19 theatres and totalled just under $150,000 in its first week. It was released in 61 theatres all up and totalled almost $3 million at the box office. He made a big impact in Hollywood when he wrote and directed the Academy Award-winning film Pulp Fiction. He was at it again with his storytelling and long dialogue, this time having 3 separate stories that all somehow intertwine. The film was shown at the 1994 Cannes Film Festival, where it received the Palme d'Or. It wound up earning $107 million, making it the first independent film to exceed $100 million. It grossed over $200 million worldwide. It became the 10th biggest film of 1994, even though it played in fewer cinemas than any of the top 20. Take that, you other top-notch directors. Readers of Britain's Empire magazine named Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs in the 100 favourite films of all time in 1995. Pulp Fiction gaining #1 spot. He made other twisted films like Jackie Brown, wrote and starred in From Dusk Till Dawn, which was directed by good friend Robert Rodriguez, and has been guest director on several films and television shows. Superstars like John Travolta and good time oldies Pam Grier and David Carradine can all thank Quentin for getting them back into the spotlight. If your celebrity status is fading, just get in contact with Quentin. The release of his 4th film, Kill Bill, made us movie lovers stand up and take notice. Kill Bill was a movie of revenge, a roaring rampage of revenge, with the main character, the bride, hunting down her attackers. Kill Bill was split into 2, Volume 1 concentrating more on martial arts and samurai swords, and Volume 2 being your spaghetti western. They had planned to make Kill Bill on a budget of $42 million, but ended up spending $60 million. Not that that mattered in the end anyway. They ended up making back over $333 million. To show how much he loves films and spending money, Quentin has gone all out and established his own film festival in Austin, Texas. It's a 9-day festival where he shows movies from his own collection and then shares his thoughts on them. As you can see in his films, Quentin loves to hold on to the past. He has 6 luxury cars, but refuses to get rid of his old beaten-up Volvo. It reminds him of his childhood sweetheart, who had an identical car. Maybe it's time to get rid of that Volvo, Quentin. And that hairstyle. Ron Howard. We probably all remember him best as Richie Cunningham from Happy Days. But now, he is one of Hollywood's most wanted directors and worth an impressive $70 million. Born in Oklahoma, Ron Howard has given it all a go as actor, director, producer, and co-chairman of Imagine Entertainment with good buddy Brian Grazer. Imagine Entertainment is a major film and television production company, having produced hit television series 24 and Arrested Development, and Academy Award-winning and nominated movies A Beautiful Mind and Apollo 13. Both movies, directed by Ron Howard, have also made it onto the American Film Institute's 100 Most Inspiring Movies of All Time. Apollo 13, number 12 in 1995, and A Beautiful Mind coming in at number 93 in 2001. Before he began his directing and producing career, Ron appeared in a number of television series, playing Opie on The Andy Griffith Show and more widely known as Fonzie's best mate on Happy Days. He was nominated for a Golden Globe for his role in the 1976 film The Shootist, then decided to turn his dream into directing. Quite a wise decision, Ron. He has had a string of smash hits, directing such films as Academy Award-nominated A Beautiful Mind, Cinderella Man, and most recently the controversial Da Vinci Code. Just 2 weeks before the Oscars, Ron was named the Best Director of the Year for A Beautiful Mind by the Directors Guild of America, which then led him to winning the Oscar for Best Director and Best Picture for the same movie. Ron has been known to work with the same actors on a number of different projects. One of his favourites, Tom Hanks. It's understandable though, he does reel in the money. The Da Vinci Code became the second highest grossing film of 2006, bringing in a staggering $758 million. But was that because we all wanted to see Tom Hanks' portrayal of Robert Langdon? Or was it because it had attracted unusual attention, thanks to the religious controversy surrounding the Dan Brown bestseller on which it is based? Either way, Ron is a very rich man. The film had mixed reviews. You either loved it or hated it. The public even criticised Tom Hanks' attempt at a new hairstyle. The duo previously worked together on such film hits as Splash in the 80s and followed later by the very successful Apollo 13. Another success for Ron was the 2000 Christmas favourite, The Grinch, which made a killing at the box office. On opening weekend, it made $55.1 million and an additional $73.5 million on Thanksgiving weekend, totalling around $137.1 million. Through his achievements as director and producer, Ron was ranked in the annual Power 100 list in both 2002 and 2003. He can be found kicking back with his millions on the 35-acre estate at Conyers Farm in the suave community of Greenwich. At the $53 million property, you can find polo facilities, riding trails, and 24-hour security. When asked by Vanity Fair, what do you consider your greatest achievement? Ron replied, 48 consecutive years of steady employment in television and film, while preserving a rich family life. Are you talking rich or rich, Mr. Howard? Considered to be one of the most significant and influential American filmmakers of his era, Martin Scorsese is one of the greatest. Actors in Hollywood are lining up for the chance to work with him and the hopes of receiving an award, or at least a nomination, for which a lot of actors have received working in a Scorsese film. No wonder they want to work with him. Scorsese originally wanted to become a priest, a slightly different career path to what he has chosen. He has directed over 40 films and has been nominated over and over again for his work, finally receiving a Best Director Oscar for the police thriller flick The Departed, as well as Best Picture. His films have always received great feedback, but never enough to push him over the line to win awards. Who needs awards anyway, when your films are making you millions? You can't spend an award, can you? Cape Fear was one of his highest earning films to date, bringing in $80 million, and stayed there until the release of The Aviator, the story of Howard Hughes in 2004. The Aviator grossed $102.6 million. It was Scorsese's first film to gross over $100 million in the US. The highlight of his career, though, would have to have come from his highest grossing movie, The Departed, which brought in sales of up to $132.1 million and counting. Gangs of New York cost $100 million to make, with Scorsese getting paid $6 million of that. He did have to pay back $3 million, though, due to budget overruns. Now, how could someone survive on just $3 million? It's unthinkable. Scorsese recently sold his $6.1 million townhouse so he could be closer to his daughter's school. So I guess he'll just have to settle for the $12.5 million 1920s townhouse down the road instead. Not wanting all the bells and whistles, the Manhattan townhouse is a small 7,000 square foot, has 5 stories, 10 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. I'd better not forget to mention the elevator, period details, dark panelling, and the chandelier in the 3rd floor master bedroom. I wonder if his daughter is allowed to have parties. If you could win an award for the most divorces, Scorsese would definitely be nominated. He has been married 4 times. Luckily, he's better at holding together a movie than he is at a marriage. He probably needs as much money as he can get for all his settlements. Scorsese has continually worked with a number of actors, including Robert De Niro and most recently Leonardo DiCaprio. De Niro has been Scorsese's saviour, having starred in 8 of his films. Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Goodfellas and Casino are some of the more commonly known films. Taxi Driver, one of Scorsese's more obscure and controversial films, won the Palme d'Or at the 1976 Cannes Film Festival and received 4 Oscar nominations.
How's your driving record? It's clean. It's real clean, like my conscience.
With the release of such films like Taxi Driver and Mean Streets, again with Robert De Niro, it had set the scene for Scorsese's films. Violent, violent, violent. Although, you know you have made it when you receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, as he did in 2003, and was ranked number 3 of the greatest directors ever by Empire magazine. Scorsese is known to have said, "My whole life has been movies and religion. That's it, nothing else." That's a bit rich, don't you think, Martin? What about all that money, the big fancy mansion, and those 4 marriages?